So we're here today pleased to announce that we have two Transport Workers Union Local 100 members running for the New York City Council, two New York City transit workers. And we have true trade unionists running, and these guys, Marvin Holland from Harlem, and Henry Butler from Central Brooklyn, are going to exemplify, they're going to prove what a trade union progressive is rather than just a lifestyle progressive. They're going to prove that you can embody what it means to be a trade unionist and still embrace the progressive movement rather than abandon trade union principles. These two gentlemen are going to uphold what it means to be a trade unionist on that New York City Council. So we stand here today to put the full support of the Transport Workers Union behind Marvin Holland and Henry Butler. The rank and file of TWU Local 100 will be out on the streets to support these two candidates, and we will propel them to victory. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm very honored to be here this morning. I got to know Brother Henry Butler when I was in elected office, and he was chairing Community Board 3. And we worked together on some very significant projects for Bed-Stuy, Central Brooklyn. And then he became the director of Community Board 3. I thought it was a step down, but at least he's getting paid. And we continued to work on projects to benefit constituents of Bedford-Stuyvesant and beyond. And so I became aware of his commitment to the community and indeed his work ethic, if you will. But then he did something else that really endeared to me. He joined VITA, which is the Vanguard Independent Democratic Association, and he worked and he elevated to become a leader of that organization, which many of you know is one of the most outstanding political organizations in the state of New York. So undoubtedly, Henry has been doing the work of a city council person, of an elected official, and I am pleased to join with TWU 100 in supporting his candidacy. Thank you.
The Vanguard Independent Democratic Association, Ms. Annette Robinson. Thank you.
Good morning, family. I too join in this celebration of Marvin Holland and Henry Butler. My daughter was a member of this local, TWU, Dawn Robinson. She passed away in 2012. And you certainly celebrated her in great style. And I want to say thank you to TWU for the great work that you do to be able to enable families to have a good quality of life. Henry Butler, it's really funny how we operate here because he's a former council member, former assembly member, and I'm a former assembly member and former council member as well. So our comments are similar, because I too have watched Henry through time as he's moved from one place to the other, getting the work done. And that's what's been so very important to me, to see how Henry has moved, he's gotten the work done. He knows how to follow through. He knows how to organize and bring people together. And I'm sure that much of that talent came from his participation in the local TWU in terms of organization. And also to Marvin Holland, who has been a great friend to the community in terms of his participation and support of candidates that we have been able to move forward from our organization, from Vanguard Independent Democratic Association, and throughout the community. People that were worthy of being moved forward to do the work. So that's what the union is all about, getting the work done. Because what do you say? You move everybody, don't you? And so that's what we're trying to do today. We're trying to move Henry Butler as member of the New York City Council for the 41st Council District, and Marvin Holland for Council District. Is that the 9th District? 9th District in Harlem. So God bless you both. So I'm here to endorse on behalf of our organization, as well as with founder Albert Van and myself. We're moving forward with these two candidates. God bless you.
Moving with Assemblywoman Tremaine Wright. Woo!
morning. I am delighted to be here today as we stand and endorse these two wonderful candidates for New York City Council. Marvin Holland, 9th District in Harlem, and Henry Butler, 41st District in Brooklyn. I'm delighted to be able to stand here and to let you know that I'm offering my full support and endorsement to these candidates because they not only talk the talk, they walk the walk. I've had the opportunity to nominate Henry into that first position that many of our colleagues have known him as. It was through the community board that I had the opportunity to stand on the floor and nominate him from our floor so that he could become our chair for Community Board 3. He did a marvelous job. He brought people together and he spoke the principles that this union stands for throughout the entire term that he served. He was there to make sure that we were working towards quality of life issues for all the people that resided in our community. That's what this is about. This is about making sure that our people move forward together, strong families, good jobs, stable communities. This is the fight that progressives are supposed to be standing for. This is what trade unionists stand for. That's what we are supposed to do. And I can't think of two better candidates. Marvin Holland, Henry Butler, to go forth and to become a member of the New York City, to become members of the New York City Council, and to make sure that that fight continues and that we continue to support all the families of New York City, the working families of New York City, the people who move this city. So thank you, and I stand with everyone. I think you will join us as we make sure that these two serve our community in the New York City Council.
And if we can hear from Councilman Robert Carnegie, that would be great. Thank you.
Morning. So I walked in and I guess I came in at a little solemn part because I thought we were here to celebrate the ascension and the support of two great young men. So I'm excited because we have an opportunity now to do something that should have happened in a better fashion or in a larger fashion a long time ago, which is to tie Harlem and Brooklyn together in a way that hasn't happened before.
Is it Harlem and Brooklyn or Brooklyn and Harlem?
Don't do that. Let me do what I'm doing. Start another fight here. But the reality is, both of these young men, when there's a subtle, not overt, but a subtle assault on labor in the city, state, and federal government, we have to have more young men with labor tenets and labor values in the council. So we have a very progressive council and a progressive administration, but sometimes in that progressiveness, the values around which the labor movement was built and a pathway for communities of color to the middle class get left out. So I want to have partners in the city council that are going to make sure that their voices are heard loud and clear on the labor front to make sure that that doesn't continue to happen. And I know that in Marvin and in Henry, because of a lot of reasons that were mentioned before, and a lot of reasons that it would take me all day to explain what I've been through and the battles and the wars that I've been through with both of these young men. But I'm proud to say that in the 9th District in Harlem, I stand with Marvin Holland, and in the 41st District in East New York, Brownsville, and Bed-Stuy, I stand with Henry Butler. Thank you.
And now we're going to hear from our candidates, starting first with our candidate for CD 41, Mr. Henry Butler. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
There are moments in our life where we have these dreams and fantasies that we look forward to and we wonder if they're ever going to come true. This moment right here is a dream that came true for me. To be able to stand here today being endorsed by the greatest union, not just in New York City, but in the entire United States, TWU Local 100. It's one of the proudest moments for me in my life. I know later on we're having the clergy breakfast slash luncheon. So let me at first acknowledge and thank the Almighty for allowing this to happen for me in my life. So I just want to put that out there. We move forward and we make steps in life and we get to certain destinations, but we don't do it on our own.
Right.
You have to have people around you who help you navigate through the woods. So with that being said, I want to acknowledge and thank a few people. First, I want to acknowledge the best president of any union, TWU Local 100 President, Mr. John Samuelson. For those who don't know, I did 14 years as a train conductor. I had 3 presidents. By far, Mr. Samuelson was the greatest president I ever worked under. He did such a marvelous job of keeping his union strong and bringing it back together. Thank you
real
again for
slim
that.
too.
Thanks for noticing.
I want to thank my brother to my left, Mr. Marvin Holland. It was Marvin Holland, I guess, who saw something in me, pulled me from the road, brought me down to the Union Hall a few years ago, and I believe we accomplished some great work together, including helping get Councilman Robert Carnegie elected to City Council. Obviously, Assemblywoman Tremaine Wright.
Yeah.
Our greatest accomplishment to me was back in 2012 when Hurricane Sandy happened.
That's right.
And we were able to bring union and community together.
That's right.
And I always advocate when I go speak to any union, if you want to move your agenda forward, you have to get community involved and get community on your side. Remember, your workers, we are part of the community. So if you want the word put out there about what we are fighting for, you have to take it to the community residents. And the work that we did pertaining to Hurricane Sandy was was the most accomplished work, in my entire life. And I thank you, Marvin, for that leadership in that. Dr. Al Van, mentor. I couldn't have been more fortunate, to have Dr. Al Van, the founder of VITA, as a mentor for me. He taught me how to be patient, particularly dealing with city government. For those who really know me, I'm not the most patient person in the world. I want to get things done and get it done right there and then. But he taught me how to navigate, through the woods of dealing with bureaucracy. And I just want to thank you for all the guidance and knowledge you bestowed upon me. To our political mother here, the Honorable Annette M. Robinson, once again, thank you for your leadership and keeping me on the right path and pulling me back when I need to be pulled back. I thank you so much for that. Thank you. My political sister here, Ms. Assemblywoman Tremaine Wright, we've been through a lot of battles together on the community board. You stood steadfast with me, and I thank you for your friendship and guidance. Thank you. My brother over here, Councilman Robert Carnegie, you know the battles we've been through. And now we're about to enter another one.
Sorry.
And this feels like 2013 all over again, and we saw the results of that.
That's right.
You're the councilman, and I expect on September 12th, 2017, Henry Butler will be elected to the city council. Last but not least, I want to acknowledge and thank my family. First, I want to acknowledge my kids, Miles and Kevin.
Kevin, Miles.
At some event, I got an award, and I acknowledged everyone, and then they told my wife, Mommy, Daddy didn't mention us. So, and I have to acknowledge them because there are a lot of times when, you can't get that babysitter, and you have to take the kids with you. And every time I take them somewhere with me, people always come and say to me, your kids are so good. You know, so I have to thank them for that, you know, because they allow me to sometimes go out there and do the work that I need to be done, and they give me full cooperation. Thank you, boys. Then, of course, this woman back here, my wife, Lelena Butler. She has been there for me through thick and thin. She's been by my side. Without her, trust me, without her, I would not be standing here today. With the love and support that she has given me, I couldn't ask for a better partner in this journey. So I just want to say I love you so much and thank you. I'm going to be brief in my remarks. It was mentioned by previous speakers about trade unionists and the trade unionist movement. And we have this term progressive out there that's spoken, you know, freely out there. And a lot of people are progressive when it comes to social issues. But when you ask them to line up and be progressive when it comes to economic issues, when you ask them to be progressive when it comes to protecting the rights of union men and women out here, then all of a sudden people tend to disappear. You cannot call yourself a progressive if you are supporting laws that allow hard-working men and women who are bus drivers to get arrested because they committed. How can you call yourself progressive? You cannot call yourself progressive if you do not support prevailing wage. How can you call yourself progressive? So I'm here to tell you, with Henry Butler, you will have someone in the city council who will truly be behind labor. The first thing I want to do when I get there, when Marvin Holland gets elected, and with our brother Robert Carnegie, is we're going to form a labor caucus.
Yeah.
We have every caucus that can exist in mankind. We're supposed to be the city of unions, and we don't have a labor caucus. Can someone explain that to me? So that's the first thing I want to do. So I'm just here to tell you that I'm here to stand with you as one of your brothers. I'm here to stand with the brothers and sisters of the union movement. And trust me, with Henry Butler, you will always have someone standing by your side. Thank you so much.
We're now going to hear from the other TWU Endorse candidate for City Council District 9 in Harlem, Marvin Holland!
First off, I want to just thank everybody for coming out this morning. In particular, John Samuelson, Earl Phillips, Latanya, Nelson Rivera, the entire executive board for giving me the endorsement for my city council race in the 9th district. I don't take that for granted. Many times people run for office and they don't get their union support. So I want to publicly thank the union for not just supporting me, but really getting behind me. And this time, come September 12th, I will win the race this time around. And I'm going to be very brief in my remarks, but there's something that needs to be said about TW's relationship with the Vita Club in Brooklyn and what we've accomplished. In 2013, in that race, when Rob Carnegie was running for city council, a lot of people don't know the whole story. And this is why I'm very optimistic about me and Henry winning. When Rob was running in that race, everybody was against Rob Carnegie.
Thanks for that memory.
So when you stand for working people, that's what happens sometimes, you know. When you're not phony and you're real, that's what happens. You end up being out there alone. And when I say everybody, everybody in labor was against him, the Working Families Party, everybody. But with the help of TWU and you, many of you in this room, we were able to win that race by 68 votes. That race was important because it changed the trajectory of this political operation we have here at TWU. That was the first race that we ever ran an IE in, that we ever got involved in and actually won. And since then, we've won just about every race that we put our minds and our spirits. It's fitting that Rob's here with Tremaine Wright, the latest person, the last race in the last round that she won the assembly seat. And then I want to close with this to Annette Robinson, and I'm honored to be here with our band. And maybe y'all can give a call to Harlem and tell them, to support me. The colleagues up there, they're not. But I really want to thank you guys seriously for the foundation you've laid for young people in Brooklyn. You did it the right way with the Vita Club, where you laid the foundation and they're carrying on the tradition that you two started. And so I want to publicly and personally thank you for that, because a lot of times we talk about in politics that people are not nurtured, where's the next generation? And clearly here in Central Brooklyn and Bed-Stuy, you guys have done that, and I really thank you for that. So in closing, I want to say there's a lot of work to do, though. We're doing petitions now, so we're going to need everybody's support. We're going to need you to come out and knock on doors with us, write a check, whatever it is you can do to help us. Me and Henry are going to we're in very difficult races. I'm against an incumbent. He has a lot of people in his race. And the thing that you know about me and Henry Butler is that we're going to put in the work to get this done. So in closing out, on to victory, September 12th, we will begin to form that labor caucus that's so badly needed in the city council. Thank you.
TWU Local 100 will support these candidates to the end. We will see victory. Every local from the TWU in New York State will support these candidates and we'll see victory. The TWU International will put every resource we have into this race.